Hello everyone, Chief Meteorologist George Lessons along with meteorologist Elena Naring. We're going to provide continuous coverage here on Facebook and also on the Weather Channel 13.2. You're probably tuning on in. We have a potentially dangerous situation ongoing for Kent, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties. Let's go to the warnings as they are right now. The severe thunderstorm warning was in effect for Ottawa County and Muskegon County until 6:45, but I see they may have extended that now until 7:15, and that includes the cities of Allendale, Jenison, and points off to the east. Also here in Grand Rapids area, Kent County, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:30. You have time to prepare. Grand Rapids, Kentwood, Walker, Wyoming, those are the big cities that are under this particular severe thunderstorm warning. And again, on our radar scope, we're going to take a closer look. This is our storm tracking radar. We're up very, very close right now, and as you can see, the line of strong storms is just pushing into the Coopersville area, and we're going to stop the animation and show you that inside the storm we have winds clocked up to around 58 to 60 miles per hour, and in the heart of the storm a little bit further to the west, a low 60 to 65 mile an hour winds. And again, this is racing off to the east at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. Hasn't quite reached the Ottawa County, Kent County line, but it will move into the Ravenna area here very, very shortly. This is bowing out at a very quick rate. Jenison and Hudsonville, you'll be next within the next 25 to 30 minutes or so. So again, all of you folks that are out there, you need to be heading to a place of safe shelter. Some of the things that you could be doing, hopefully all of our campers along the lakeshore are okay. But again, with these storms that are coming on through, if you are camping in any of the areas, you'll want to get out of the campers or tents and seek shelter in a sturdy building. That means either one of the restrooms that they have there, or maybe just in a building, perhaps your car as well. If you can't, just get away from the trees and any cars that you are in. You may want to just try and drive out of the storm as you push off to the east. And again, most of this is going to be wind related. There's also going to be a lot of water coming down with these storms. If you are in a mobile home, maybe now is the time in Kent County to find out where you need to go before these storms roll in. You're only going to have about another 10 or 15 minutes to make your decision, then it's up to you. So seek shelter in a nearby community shelter, and if you have a bicycle helmet, you might want to take those as well. Again, most of the storm is going to have winds with these, and we would appreciate if you send any pictures or information that might be going on in your particular community of what might be going on. Some of the storm views around the area, we're going to take a look and see what we've got going. Along the lakeshore, we noticed that earlier there was quite a bit of wind with the storm that came on shore into the Grand Haven area. It looks like the visibility has now improved just a little bit there. I'm going to go up the lakeshore to the Muskegon area. It looks like the back edge of the storm is moving on through, but still quarter-mile visibility out at the airport. Temperature gusted there to 49 miles an hour, I see, just in the past 15 to 20 minutes or so. Temperatures cooled off to about 69 degrees. Going to shift over to the greater Grand Rapids area. It looks like we've got our camera pointing southward. If we could push that to the west, we could see those storms coming on. Maybe it is pushing to the west there. You can see that towering cumulus cloud in the distance. That is the storm that will be approaching here very, very shortly. So once again, you need to be heading to a place of safe shelter. Further back to the west, not a lot going on. We're going to go back to the radar and take a look at where those storms are headed. Elena, I think we just have an update coming on in on the severe thunderstorm warnings.
Let's see, we have severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect. A special marine warning has been canceled.
Okay, because the storm has come on shore.
Holland and Pentwater.
Okay.
Also, Holland and Whitehall now have been canceled for that marine weather statement warning, special marine warning.
Okay. And again, this is a very gusty type of outflow boundary coming on in. I can see it's already passed through the Coopersville area, Allendale. Are you getting any good comments on Facebook here in the last couple of minutes, Elena?
A couple of people, George, have mentioned the fact that the winds, when they hit Ferrysburg area, were very strong.
Okay.
And it came up very quickly. So that's so far the kind of reports that I've been seeing. Lots of lightning. Yeah, mostly just gusty winds and lots of lightning reports. As of right now, No reports of damage that I've seen. I did get a report just now, lots of wires down in Muskegon. I'll try to find out where exactly that was located.
Okay, so again, this is a very dangerous situation. The good news is hopefully people aren't reporting because they're in their safe place. We wouldn't want you to be out looking for these storms to come in. This is not the time that you go out and start taking pictures and look at those kinds of things. So again, back to the full screen radar, we're going to show you that the storms that are pushing through on our radar scope, this is the leading edge, which is just now pushed to the east of Coopersville, coming on into the Marne area here very shortly. I've zoomed in really far here. Apologize for that. Again, it's just gone through the Allendale area. If you're in Jenison and Hudsonville, you probably should already be in your safe place. We're going to get a radar scope estimate on the winds in through here. Still gusting to over 50 miles an hour, about 58 miles an hour I see there, the leading edge around 56. Haven't seen any reports coming out of Wisconsin whether or not these storms were severe or not, but they did intensify as they came over the lake and off to the east, and this updates about every 2 minutes or so. Not a lot of precipitation. I should say there's a lot of precipitation within this. I'm going to see what kind of what we've got going on in here. Oh yes, this is hail mixed with the rain. That's the red color on the left-hand side there. So that is just north of Coopersville. Give me a shout out if you're getting some hail mixed in with that rain coming through the Coopersville area. Not sure on the size of that, but again, these storms have been pretty tall, and let's take a look and see how tall they really are. Here's our echo tops. This is up over 50,000 feet, so that's a pretty tall storm. That is just to the east of Fruitport. And again, let's put a motion on this, and we'll be able to see whether or not what the direction is. Looks like that storm is moving generally in this direction right in through here. So that'll be heading into the northern half of Kent County over the next few minutes or so. And that's why we're doing our continuous coverage here on 13.2 and on Facebook. Please leave any comments to tell you what you actually have got going on in your area. Some of these other indications on our map here are what the actual reports are from many of the amateur weather operators. This is just rain being reported there in western Ottawa County, also up and around the Muskegon and Muskegon Heights area. No other reports yet of what kind of precipitation they have got going on. We're going to pause the radar once again and take a look at some of the other things that are going on inside of this. I have not noticed anything other than some strong bowing winds with this. Nothing that indicates anything in terms of rotation, but that doesn't mean there couldn't be a spin up of a small tornado at this point. But right now it is just a bow echo that's coming onshore that's producing some very strong winds, I anticipate, over much of Ottawa County right now. I haven't had any word or anything for Ottawa County, Elena. Normally they will sound the sirens for winds over 70 miles an hour. That's an exclusive to Ottawa County only, but I have not heard whether or not any sirens have been issued over there or not. But again, if you are in Marne, you're seeing the leading edge of this line of storms come on through right now, and it'll be heading into the Walker area very shortly.
Yeah, no reports of sirens in Ottawa County just yet, George. Just a lot of heavy rain and gusty winds. I have seen a couple of reports of some downed trees, but I'm having a hard time finding out where those downed trees are located.
Yeah, if the Facebook message people could tell us where they are approximately located, that would be very, very helpful.
Yeah.
I'm going to the consumer's energy map here and see if we can get an update on any of the
power
outages there. With the real-time meters now, you can kind of tell where they are.
Looks like between 50 to 200 customers without power, 139 customers without power just north of Robbinston Township, and 57. So approximately 200 customers in between Robinson Township and Crockery Township. Let's see if I can put this on the matrix here.
I've got it right here, Elena.
So I'll zoom out a little bit and kind of center it in.
There we go.
So there you can kind of see.
Approximately how many of those do we have that are without power in that little area? Looks like it's right,
Yeah, it's about 200.
Okay, I'm sure they'll start to come on in if there has been power outages with these as well.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the leading edge of the storm is coming into right along the Ottawa-Muskegon or Ottawa-Kent County line, right along I-96. That's that blue line there. The traffic's got to be just at a standstill, I would imagine. I'm going to see if I can pull up our other camera here outside our building and see if it's pointed in the right direction. Ah, there it is. That's a great view of the storm that's coming in along I-96. Traffic looks like it's moving fairly quickly, fairly efficiently, but I'm seeing perhaps a shelf cloud there.
It definitely looks pretty ominous. I don't know if that's as far out of zoom that we can go, but let me go back to...
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that is a really good shot.
We'll just leave it on there for a little while.
Just got a report from a ham radio operator in the National Weather Service chat room. Ottawa County spotter measured wind gust front of 21 miles per hour at Ottawa Beach and 144th Avenue.
That's interesting.
National Weather Service also just mentioned large area of greater than 60 mile per hour winds aloft over Ottawa County, and still concerned about some of these gusts that will mix down to the surface as the storm continues into Kent County. So what that means, that's kind of technical speak, but essentially the strongest winds are usually located in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So it doesn't often affect us here right on the surface of the earth, but when you have strong thunderstorms, they can create what's called downdrafts, and sometimes that can tap into those stronger upper level winds. So that's what we're concerned about as the storm front continues to move into Kent County. And low clouds like this that are fast moving, you can see the ripples on your screen right now, also indicating a very turbulent atmosphere. So that's a good indicator of strong winds embedded within that thunderstorm. Also, George, it looks like we just got a report from our friend Bill Steffen across town. Reported 55 mile per hour wind gusts at Grand Valley State University. In Allendale.
If you could go over to the radar computer again, the height of the winds there are right around 900 feet. Maybe we'll go to the radar. Okay, I guess we'll go to that camera. Let me see. Let's do this. Here, we'll do this one. That's the one we want. Nope, that's not the one we want. This is the one we want.
George, also severe thunderstorm warning is continuing until 7:30 for Kent County, with the main hazards being 60 mile per hour winds and hail less than 3/4 of an inch.
Okay. Yeah, this is the height of the beam above the ground from the radar site. It's about 16 miles from the radar. It's only 900 feet off the ground where there are 60 mile an hour winds. So that is incredibly close to the surface. That's up the top of transmission towers and those kinds of things, less than 1,000 feet above the ground. So again, all it's going to take is just a little bit of a gust front to come on down, and that will produce those winds, as you mentioned over there in Allendale, to 55 miles an hour. So again, for the folks in Kent County, the leading edge has just moved into extreme right along Kennewa Avenue.
I think I just heard thunder.
I heard thunder. Yeah, I did too. And I'm not seeing anything other than the gusty wind that's pushing through right into the Marne exit right now. It's east of Marne, probably getting into the Fruit Ridge exit area right now. Yeah, a little bit there, the Remembrance Road area. It should get very windy here very shortly at the station. We'll probably, yeah, those are great views from our cameras there. You can see in the lower right, that's the Walker Tower cam. You can see the leading edge of that gust front coming on through, and from our downtown camera, there on the top. Elena, anything?
Just got a viewer report off of Facebook, 63 mile per hour wind gusts at Rosie Mound. So that's in Ottawa County.
And that verifies as a severe thunderstorm. Absolutely.
Yeah, the threshold is 58 miles per hour for folks that don't know. So yeah, 63 miles per hour definitely does constitute and justify a severe thunderstorm warning.
Absolutely. So again, if you are in the northwest portion of Kent County, actually central and western portion of Kent County, the leading edge is coming right into Walker right now. I'm looking at our wind measuring device here, our anemometer. Right now it's only 3 miles an hour, but I'm anticipating our winds are going to gust here very, very quickly. And you should be heading to a place of safe shelter if you are not already doing so. You have a little more time from the eastern part of the county, but again, I would make sure that all of the patio furniture, your garage doors are closed, anything that could catch wind and fly about. That's what you need to keep an eye on. That front is just about overhead on our Walker Tower cam there, Elena, looking very, very ominous.
Yeah, definitely very ominous. That is a really good looking structure right there. I wouldn't be surprised if people are even starting, I wish I could have had the opportunity to go out inside and look at it with my own eyes, because cameras often don't do it justice. But now is the time that you want to be seeking shelter, especially live in the western Kent County area. That's where the meanest clouds are looking. So
that's our parking lot camera.
It's quiet for now.
I'm just waiting to see what the winds are going to do here.
I think it'll be picking up more. It's still probably, I don't know, what would you estimate? Do you want to go back to the radar and draw it out? How far away the rain is from Grand Rapids proper?
Let's see. Can do that. Well, that would help if I do that. How far away it is from us or from the actual radar?
From us.
Oh, it's on top of us. We're very, it's right on top of us. You can't be any closer than that, that's for sure. I see that I'm back on the consumer's energy map. I apologize. We are working our way around here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's only 600 feet above the ground. And so that's the leading edge of the rain coming in right now. Nice outflow boundary. There's going to be some high precipitation with this in a very short period of time. So some ponding of water, some flooding, I imagine as well. I want to go back to our portico cam and see what we can come up with, because I really want to see what these winds are going to do. We're just kind of waiting. Perhaps you have already seen this come through your neighborhood. I can see some of the leaves starting to come off the trees right now. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. I can see
the camera's moving too.
Wind's up to 13, but it's a 2-minute update on the actual. While we watch this come through, I just want to recap the warnings. We're doing continuous live coverage on Facebook Live and 13.2. Our off-air channel, so if you're following us there, we appreciate that. Once again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Kent County. This is until 7:30 this evening, and the main threats will be 60-mile-per-hour winds, which have verified. We had that wind gust measured over in Ottawa County, just south of Grand Haven, at 65 miles an hour. So for your protection, you'll want to move to an interior room on the lowest floor in the building. Look, here we go. Here's the wind.
Yeah, here comes the wind at our back parking lot. So hopefully we don't have too many trees coming down. And looks like Juliet put the top on her convertible in the parking lot too. I just want to recap the verbiage coming from the National Weather Service for the severe thunderstorm warning that is still in effect until 7:30 for Kent County. I know that the Grand Rapids Original Swing Society is downtown right now, so hopefully they're seeking shelter because of the heavy rain that's coming in and the strong winds as well. But the main hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which, as George mentioned, has verified. Also of note, the storm motion is moving straight east at 45 miles per hour. So to put that in perspective, speed limits on the highway are 75 miles or 70 miles per hour coming in. So if you're trying to outrun the storm, it's going to be close. And you have to also remember that the roads curve, so you're not going in a straight shot. So we could definitely see some issues as far as limited visibility out on the highways as well. And yeah, I can hear the heavy rain on our rooftop as I speak.
I'm just fascinated by watching this.
Yeah.
I'm in a relative place of safety, but...
So let's switch, this is super cool, but let's switch back to the radar just so people can kind of get an idea. The rain is here in Walker at our 13 on Your Side studios, and we'll be hitting downtown Grand Rapids very shortly. But I haven't seen too many more reports. We had Lakeshore reports of severe caliber winds, but I haven't gotten too many reports a little bit farther inland. I'm looking for reports from the Coopersville area or Marne area, anything like that. Zealand also. So far here, I've heard a little bit of thunder outside of the 13 on your side studio, seeing the heavy rain. The winds, at least from looking at the trees, do not look severe yet.
Not
so
yet.
We're not in the core of the storm just yet, but it is coming.
I'm looking at our wind gauge to see what we have. See some birds trying to evade the area. Now the back edge of the winds here, I'm just looking off camera right now. It looks like the inside of the winds there, right overhead here at the station, haven't quite arrived yet here. The core of the winds back to the west are still not quite to the Ottawa County line. That's where the 50-mile-an-hour winds. The gust front, where we are at Channel 13, right around about 35 miles an hour. So I anticipate that should be happening here very shortly. Here comes the heavy rain.
Just got a report from Molly on Facebook. She says, there's the thunder. Lightning behind this in Coopersville, still raining, but the winds have subsided.
Yeah, this is going to be a very quick, 30 seconds to a minute of some strong winds, and then it will drop right off and then just pour like heck for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There might be some small hail in it as well, but I don't think the strong winds have yet arrived. This is just the leading edge of the outflow boundary.
Jill reports from Allendale that it blew over her outdoor swing set. So yeah, I think that a lot of patio furniture is going to get tossed around if it's not secured, and also yeah, that's some heavy rain that's coming down.
You can see the just the sheets of rain coming across the parking lot. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it might from the tower cams, which are up around the 45-mile-an-hour wind level, almost obscured right now. I'm going to switch back to the radar here just to show you where that is coming on in. There's the leading edge coming into the greater Grand Rapids area. Let's turn this off. Lawn furniture or trash cans displaced, that is there. And that was as of 7 o'clock. Zoom on in.
A couple more wind reports. Grand Valley, also located, that's in Ottawa County. Thunderstorm wind gust of 55 miles per hour. That was observed at 6:51, so about 11 minutes ago.
Wow, it's just raining like
another
crazy.
report out of Ottawa County, 5 miles south of Grand Haven, 65 mile per hour wind gust. That was reported observed at 6:29 at a Mesonet weather station.
Oh, I'd love to be out storm chasing in this.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, still getting reports of heavy rain now in Grand Rapids.
But right now, I've only heard the one thunderclap.
Yeah.
These are just what I think are high precipitation events. A lot of rain in a very short period of time and some gusty winds.
What happens often with these kind of classic summer thunderstorms is they blow up really quickly, but then they don't have the twisting of the winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and so they kind of rain themselves out just as quickly. So I think that because I haven't seen too many more reports, especially inland, and I'm not really seeing too many power outage reports. George, if you want to go back to the power outage map.
I can do that.
We have an update. Looks like about 78 customers out of power just south of Lake Michigan Drive, in between Talmadge Township and just north of the Jenison and Granville area. And then we have, I'll move the map over slightly, it looks like we have another section of customers without power just southwest of Ravenna. Just over 50 customers without power. So overall, not too many power outages associated with this line. But I think that as the heavy rain and the strong winds continue to move inland, we'll probably see a couple more power outages. Wow, I can really hear the rain picking up now.
I'm looking at our Davis Weather Vantage Pro 2 station. Come take a look at this, Elena. We got to take a picture of that. It's going to come up again and cycle. Look what the forecast is at the bottom. She's going to take a picture.
It's raining cats and dogs.
That's what it says on
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. Sorry, we're making light of a kind of a serious situation, but in some of these instances you have to. I had just got an update here. The severe thunderstorm warning for southern Muskegon County has been canceled, and the eastern half of Ottawa County still remains in effect until 7:15, and of course the severe thunderstorm warning for Kent County until 7:30 this evening. That includes City of Grand Rapids and points off to the east. I want to go back to the radar scope and show you the strong storms that are coming on through. Again, they are just reaching the downtown Grand Rapids area, just now moving through Wyoming, heading to Kentwood here very shortly. Up in the Northview area, you're starting to see the leading edge move on through. The gust fronts coming on through. I see that their winds not too far above the surface. I'm going to want to see how far away this is. It's only about 400 feet off the ground. Winds to about 45 miles an hour. So all it takes is a little bit of this rain to come down very quickly, very heavily, to drag all that air with it. So again, if you're in the eastern half of Kent County, you need to be putting away your lawn furniture, put away those trash cans that blow around very easily. Just stick them in the garage. Make sure the garage doors are closed. All of the open things that you can close, like your patio umbrellas, those kinds of things, that's what you need to do right at the moment. Anything else coming up on Facebook Live these moments from anybody?
Haven't gotten too many more reports. Nick Schweitzer says awesome lightning in south of Sparta. He's one of our apple growers up on the Fruit Ridge area there. He always sends us such great photos. So it sounds like they're getting some lightning out that way.
Right now it's just turned into a high precipitation event. Very heavy rains here at the station. You can see zero visibility. Probably traffic sitting at a standstill in along the interstate. Hopefully you're heading to a place where you can escape the wind or the heavy rain right now. And we're just going to keep an eye on all of this until this line passes through Kent County. And if there is no reports of any damage with any of this, we may terminate our coverage once the storm exits Kent County.
Yeah, Lisa Lyons-Sturgeon just reported sunshine back out in Zealand.
Yep,
so this is just a very narrow band of storms. That was a pretty good thunderclap here on the west side of, northwest side of Grand Rapids.
In the Jenison area, they had a wind gust to 38, so it's kind of maybe have run out of a little bit out ahead of the steam there. But again, a number of reports coming on in. We can go back to the radar on screen there. I'm going to query a couple of these. That was over in the Wyoming area, lawn furniture, trash cans displaced. They kind of have a menu that you can only choose a certain few things on this, so it looks like they're all the same from about Jenison through Granville through Wyoming on up into just northwest of downtown Grand Rapids.
George, if you want to switch over to the Matrox, we just got a new report of outage information. Just west, on the west side of Grand Rapids, 476 customers without power. That was just reported about 10 minutes ago.
Well, hopefully it's not the folks that were following us on Facebook Live and no longer can follow us. You can still follow us on mobile too as well.
Yeah, since we're doing Facebook Live, you can access us on your phones. I imagine that's where most people are actually watching us, is probably on their phones.
Things have certainly changed throughout my career, and I know your career as well, Elena. No longer do we do it all on television. We now do it on our 13.2, which is our severe weather channel, and hopefully you are able to get that. off the air. If you cannot get it off the air and you are on cable or on perhaps one of the satellite companies, you need to call them and say, hey, we want WZZM 13.2 back on our cable channel or back on our satellite, so we can provide you with that. Otherwise, we will be offering this through Facebook. That is our other way of keeping in contact with all of our customers out there.
Exactly.
I see
there's another location as far as power outage is concerned. 523 people without power on the east side of the river. It looks like just north of Knapp Street, around the 3 Mile Road area. I know there's a big apartment complex there.
I wonder if that's in the same area that John Hogan was talking about earlier on one of his packages about the numerous power outages that seem to happen every other minute there.
It could be.
West side of Grand Rapids there, out toward John Ball Park. Is that a new one as well?
This.
Oh, that's the
one. That one we've had. Let's see what this one is. Just north of Granville. That one's been there. That was reported at 6:51. 92 people without power.
This is one of the things that the automated meters do. The automated power meters, they automatically report when they're not connected anymore. And I see the blue dots are individuals, I believe, that are out without power, and those will have a tendency to aggregate once they get more reports coming on in. That's an awesome shot, I think, on the top right-hand corner. I think that's out at the Gerald R. Ford Airport.
Yeah, I think
you can
so.
see the storm has not yet come in there. I don't see any rotation within any of that, but again, that's a very ominous-looking storm. It's going to go from...
the planes are probably grounded right now. Let's switch back to the radar and see where things are located and the progress of this. This storm, as of last check from the National Weather Service, was the entire complex was moving east at about 45 miles per hour, and it's a relatively narrow line of rain and thunderstorms. So in fact, we just got a report from a viewer not too long ago that the sun was already outshining in Zeeland, so just about 60 miles away. Seeing a brief break. However, as we zoom out there, George has the wider view of the radar up on your screen right now, and you can see we do have more rain and thunderstorms extending westward out over Lake Michigan, and it does appear they've issued additional special marine alerts for areas just east of the Milwaukee area in southeastern Wisconsin.
Two things I wanted to point out here, Elena, and you can follow along with me here. I'm going to stop this animation right now. This is what's called an outflow boundary. This probably is a shelf cloud that maybe some people are seeing, or there's a little wind shift with that. Your winds probably right now are here, and then behind this, that's the outflow behind this. The other one that I'm seeing here is there's an outflow boundary right here as well. You can kind of see it right here. If I put it back into motion, you'll be able to see where it is. There's an outflow boundary right in through here.
Yeah, that's an interesting feature because it's probably
from these
coming
storms
off from the back edge of those storms that were earlier warned in the Greenville area and northern Ionia County. That was earlier today. So it's kind of a confluence of two storms coming together.
Here's what's going to be interesting. Usually when you have two opposing air masses coming toward each other, where does the air have to go? It has to go up, and that develops more. So I'm interested to see where this and this are going to end up colliding. Where is this and this going to end up colliding? Because that's going that way and this is going this way. So somewhere in here.
Yeah, so east side of Kent County, but as these storms to the west of Grand Rapids are gradually weakening, that'll be an interesting impact as well.
And it may not have any impact at all. It may be, it's one of those things we call those intersecting boundaries. We look for where those two will come together for any additional thunderstorm developing. But right now it's turning into gusty winds and a lot of precipitation, according to our Davis Weather Vantage Pro 2.
Raining cats and dogs.
It's raining cats and dogs. We've already had 1.12 inches of rain here at the station, and I think most of that's come within the last, 15 or 20 minutes? So I imagine there's probably also going to be some flood advisories that might be issued because of the ponding of water. Nothing else, nothing yet from the.
Yeah, I'll ask him really quick.
I see there's a report from East Grand Rapids there, Elena. What you got?
East Grand Rapids report. Where did you see that?
Right at the bottom.
Oh, received a report, 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts near Memorial Field at East Grand Rapids High School.
Oh, now that means I'm going to have to check my my home.
And see if any of your big trees in your front yard came down.
Oh, don't say that. That would be terrible. I got to see if my outdoor flag is still up. Oh, I think my wife is home. Nope, the flag is still out there. That's good.
Looks like, so the nice thing about this consumer's energy outage map is it provides live updates. So we're getting a lot more reports, individual reports coming out of the Knapp area east of Fuller, but Consumers has not established, they haven't finished an assessment yet. Everything is still being analyzed according to their website, but it looks like there's at least 20 reports in a cluster just south and west of I-96. So that would be the Knapp's Corner area, I believe.
I'm thinking that the bottom camera is looking north from our downtown tower cam up along the river. Is that traffic coming down 131?
Looks like it.
It looks like, yes. And interesting, I probably wouldn't see northbound traffic because all you would see is taillights, and they're very hard to see in this kind of weather. But yeah, that's a continuous line of cars coming on down. I don't know if it don't look like they're slowed very much, but if you're out traveling in this, or you know anybody who's traveling in this, these are tough conditions to try to drive through. I see latest severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 7:30. That's still about 15 minutes away or so for Kent County as this line of storms continues to move to the east, about 40 miles an hour. And again, I'm looking at my Ring doorbell, and I see that my trash cans are still there. They did not get floated away, and my flag out front is still flying. So we're good. I'm good. I feel confident about the storms coming on through.
Question from a viewer wondering why we haven't broken into programming on television. And I guess I'll just address this verbally rather than, I was going to type a response, but I'm sure there's other people that are wondering that as well. Typically, we don't break into programming unless there's a significant threat to life and property. Now, the storms are still strong, and we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Kent County, and that does include the city of Grand Rapids and area suburbs. But the storms are weakening. We're still getting power outages reports and things of that nature, but the storms are not as strong as they were initially when they were coming onshore. So typically we just allow what we call our bug and crawl. So that's the severe weather information and the radar that you see on the bottom of your screen when you're watching live TV. And that often covers the necessary information without it being overload, information overload.
Yeah, we want people to enjoy the programming that they tuned in to watch. They don't need to have us going on and on and on like we are right now.
Yeah.
We reserve that for when your life is in jeopardy or when your property is going to be significant damage. It's kind of a change from what we used to do.
Right.
Because we just want people to enjoy their programming that they're watching rather than for us to go on and on.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why we're not breaking in. That's one of those things that have changed during my career. We would always break in for just about any kind of weather
because this was the only place people could get the information.
Now you can get it anywhere.
Yeah,
and you can get it on your mobile apps. You can get it, online. You can, I don't know. There are so many ways that you can get it. And we're on 13.2, so technically we are on TV.
Right. Yes.
So, but you need an antenna for that. Kind of old school.
Yeah.
We used to be on all of the cable channels, but Comcast and Charter took us off. So if you would like to see us back on there, you need to call your cable provider and say, we need to be back on these channels. And I don't know if we have ever been on satellite, but I know there are some weather channels that are on satellite dishes as well, although it might be a little tough to get it in this kind of weather because of the rain fade. Other than that, all of the warnings for Ottawa County expired here about 25 minutes ago. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Kent County until 7:30 this evening. It looks like there are some more power outages starting to show up well to the east of us and northeast of us, Elena. I think that's with that line of storms that went through there. I'm going to go back to the radar
I'll
here.
give you just a synopsis from the Consumers Energy outage map. 5,356 customers are affected. That's their most recent estimate, which was updated just a minute ago. And so far they have 133 outage reports. I'll zoom back in here on the northeast side of Grand Rapids because now they've kind of assessed that area, and it now appears that 190 people are impacted by that particular area. Also, we mentioned this region here just west of John Ball Zoo, 476 people without power. That's just north of Millennium Park. And also we have a section here around 3 Mile Road just east of Grand River. That number doesn't seem right. 523 people without power. I clicked on the blue circle and it said only 20. I think that was fewer than what I was initially expecting.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the radar, Elena.
Okay, they just updated the map now. Just north of Leonard Street, 1,253 people without power. So this is again just north of Grand Rapids, downtown Grand Rapids. So in the Knapp's Corner area, Knapp Street and just north of Leonard Street look to be the boundary there. Wow, that's the biggest area of outages that I've seen so far.
Things calming down here at the station. Doesn't sound quite as ominous, but as you can see on the radar here, the leading edge of the storm now is moving east of Forest Hills through Ada. It will be approaching Lowell here very shortly. Also the northeast part of the county, further on up east of Rockford, eventually working its way into Montcalm County. Speaking of Montcalm County and portions of Ionia County, there are the storms that went through there earlier. I think that's what contributed to those power outages up there, Elena, a little while ago. Those were didn't appear to be severe, but maybe there was enough gusty winds to provide some of the outlying areas with some power outages.
And considering how saturated the soil is, you know, it doesn't take much for some of those bigger trees to just topple over. You need a strong wind and very wet soil, and those trees just get so big and so heavy that they can just come down.
Do we know if we still have a shot from the airport cam of what's going on there? I think the storm actually went through there. Oh yeah, well that's not really a shot, is it?
Yeah.
That's just pouring rain.
Well, that's what just came through here.
Yeah, that was a little while ago.
An update from the National Weather Service, meteorologist there says, watching that outflow, that converging outflow boundary over Van Buren and Kalamazoo counties. That's what we were pointing at earlier, George, and if you want to
Van Buren and Kalamazoo?
Indicated again, could lead to new thunderstorms and potential for very heavy rainfall. And that's an area that really does not need any more rain. I mean, over the last several months, they've just been inundated. I
wonder if they're looking at this outflow boundary here and this one, because those are the only two that
I mean, that's Van Buren right there in Kalamazoo County, so.
I'm trying to see where this one is moving. Yeah, there's a little bit of a boundary here. Moving north.
I'll bet that just north of Vicksburg there.
Not that one, it's this one. Yeah, I wonder if it's this one and this one. If, you know, somewhere in here, those two are eventually going to run into each other. There could be some development. I already see some development right there.
Or Pawpaw Lake, I guess, in Waterville.
Yeah, our main thing is once these storms move through Kent County and either the warning is extended or it is canceled, I think we will be just letting go back to our regular programming. But again, we'd appreciate any photos, any kind of video that you might have, and share it with us on our Facebook page. Beyond13 hashtag, and we'll put some of the best video on the air at our 11 p.m. Late night newscast.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just watching the weather, because that's what we love to do.
This is like Christmas for us. This is the active weather that we, especially, I mean, of course, you know, safety of people is our number one thing. So our priority is, of course, to keep everyone safe. But apart from that, it's pretty exciting to actually have an active weather, a storm system make its way through. Especially when we have visuals, these cameras give us such a great view of what's actually happening, since we can't be out in the midst of it.
Yeah, you know, we're storm chasers from way back, and we would love to have been able to go out and chase this storm. Yes, thank you. Stay on full screen there, because I wanted to see if we could see anything coming in on the Snug Harbor cam before we go to that.
Do you want me to pull up Snug Harbor on this computer? Oh, no, you have it over there.
I do, if they want to go. Yeah, I'm just kind of scrubbing through the actual timeline here to see if we could see those storms coming on shore and watch the boaters come racing in. There's a pretty good shelf cloud coming in right around 6:12, 6:15, and then the darkening of the clouds, and then we just get hit with the high winds. And oh, look at those poor boaters out there. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Time to move it in.
Pretty quiet, and then skies kind of cleared off very nicely there. Just some
sounds like just got an update from Ferrisburg. It does sound like they have another thunderstorm rumbling through.
Okay.
The severe thunderstorm warning has now been expired for Kent County, 6 minutes ahead of schedule.
Okay, that's good. Just one last parting shot here from the Holland cam. Watch, we're looking east here. That's watching the storm come over your head and go to the east. Look at that overhead, that cloud. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's a neat one.
And then it just started pouring rain in Holland.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the words they'll take this straight from the National Weather Service. Oh, but this is Eastern Ottawa County. I'm assuming Kent County will have the same
yes.
Words associated with it. Frequent gusty winds to 50 miles per hour and heavy rain are still possible within this thunderstorm, but it is weakened down below severe limits. So they have allowed the warning to
for Ottawa County to expire.
Yes.
And I just
Ottawa
got this.
And Kent County.
Yes, and this one just say the storms that prompted the warning have weakened below severe limits, which means they're not going to be any higher than about 50 miles an hour, but heavy rain and occasional lightning strikes and the high precipitation will continue with these. So I appreciate you being with us on Facebook Live. I appreciate meteorologist Elena Naring here in the background monitoring our social networks and also all of the consumer energy updates. And if we see anything that threatens your life or property, we'll be breaking into our main channel 13.1. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we will be with you next time. Until then, have a great evening.